I think we're using space all wrong in our photos. That is to say, most of the time, we're not using space at all, at least not consciously. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I don't think we're talking nearly enough about, yes, this space. I mean, when we add space, everything changes in the frame. But today, I'm gonna show you how powerful space actually is. Space gives weight to an image. It can be vertical space, horizontal space, it can be space around, it could be negative space. Space gives weight. Weight creates feeling. Feeling creates emotion, and emotion is how we get the soul of an image. And when an image has soul, that's how the greatest images are always made. Now, space can take a lot of forms. We can have space above and space below. We can have negative space. We can have dark space. Not all space is drama and feeling and weight to a photo. That blown out sky at the top of a frame doesn't always add anything. And yet, if we utilize space, if we really are seeing space, I think it changes everything. Because as photographers, we tend to take a photo and then cut it and trim it and bring it in and suck it down like we're doing some kind of a lipo on it, so that we can fit it on a phone screen, so that we can have a small print. This is why sometimes I struggle with headshots, because I still like to implement space somehow, because I trained in that. I trained in wall portraiture. I trained studying the painters and how they use space and put big things on the wall. But using space doesn't mean a photo always has to be printed big. When you use space for weight, when you don't just cut something off because it's there, it kind of becomes a really powerful tool. If you look at these photos I'm just throwing up here, you can see different variables of space. Not only in the studio of, hey, let's just not cut that off, but also in the wild, in a sunset like this, showing a tree like I did with this session with Diana recently. Not only can you show a place, and that space doesn't just have to be like negative space, like black wall, white wall, etc. Space can actually just be the majesty, the expansiveness that makes us feel small. And does that take away from our subject? I don't think so. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go back to the studio. I just wanted to start this video off showing space and maybe end it showing space. I've been showing you images as I've talked, but I want to actually look at some crops and some reasons why. This went in PPA general collection and competition years ago. I lit this with a flashlight, but I intentionally left all of this dark so that you go up the trees into the open space of the sky. Now, you might look at this and say, well, none of this is negative space, but we're not just talking about negative space. I'm talking about how we use space as a whole. If you look at Rembrandt's Jesus on the Sea of Galilee from the 1600s, look how he's using space. There's no sense of cropping in, right? You're seeing the waves, the boat, the weight of the shadows. This is stuff we dig into in shadow hackers and tone workshops as well, because yes, all these things tie together: space, position, line, tone. This here, I really like this photo. But if you actually look here at the original, before I edited in Pictorialist and things like that, it was a horizontal. Now, by nature, we tend to shoot horizontal. But actually, if you look at my final here, cropped square, I think years later in retrospect, I could have added more intensity, more weight by utilizing the tree better, by shooting vertical. Now, this is something I started doing a lot more, is shooting vertical, even on streets and landscapes and things like that. And what shooting vertical has done is giving me a vastly higher self-awareness of space. It doesn't mean you can't use space in horizontals. Of course you can. But when you force yourself to switch to that vertical perspective, it's actually a little more uncomfortable to shoot that way, which is why we like to shoot here. It's the native camera way, right? When you shoot here, it actually makes you more self-aware of your framing. I love the 4:3 vertical aspect ratio for prints, yes, but also it's what shares the best on platforms like Instagram and things like that. But it also works really well for a lot of things. And shooting vertical kind of makes you think more creatively. And I think that's true of changing formats in general. I've done videos about shooting in Hasselblad X-Pan format in the past and how that can promote creativity. Okay, here's another example. We see this in street photos and stuff like that a lot, where there's a lot of open space. And I could, of course, take this and crop it down to here, right? I could leave just a little bit here. But by leaving all this space up top, It gives heaviness, it gives weight, and it pushes you down to the subject, and it emphasizes the subject. So yes, I'm actually just trying to get us to think more about space. Not just negative space. The space can have things. The space can have textures. The space can be negative space, more like this here, where there's basically nothing. Could we crop down? Yes. But the space of the red backdrop above the model changes the whole dynamics. Yes, we have all these birds flying around, but we're intentionally leaning the frame upwards so we include all that sky and see the space with the birds in it. Here the space is not completely blacked out, but it may look that way on your screen and is essentially negative space, which makes the subject dominant. Here it's not negative at all. It's just using the space around the subject. What we tend to do is like, oh no, I'm going to print an 8x10. Oh no, I want it to look good on a phone. And so we'll crop in all of this and be like, oh, there's a nice photo of the girl. But there's nothing dynamic. There's no strength. There's no weight. But I said, no, I love the way that this feels real. It feels like we're standing there with the model. And so I think it's a mistake that we tend to focus on space as like some sort of Japanese art of like black and white and these vacuous blobs of color. They can be that, and those can be really cool. But when we start to think of space as more nuanced, it becomes really powerful. There's so much space here that it could be cropped in a host of different ways. We could make a vertical and still have space. We could make a square and still have space. We can do a panorama and still have space. But the fact that there's all this space around doesn't take away from our model. We have the grass, we have the wall faded into the background, we have the weight up above, and yet the eye goes directly to the model, and that makes it powerful. And so what we're doing is we're thinking more like the painters. We're thinking more like, hey, we're making a piece of art. We're not trying to fit within the confines of some arbitrary rules we've invented because most people are looking at it on here. I don't have a problem if the subject is small on the screen, as long as the eye is going where I commanded it to go based on how I composed and used the space and tone. Here we have weight above. It's kind of a weird photo, black and white, but that weight above kind of shows that reaching for something that's out of frame. Here we could have cropped in, or I could have lifted the shadows more around the edges, but I let it go to virtually black because it creates space and a composition around the frame. This isn't a super wide crop, but now we're using that red and it's kind of blending into space, and the same here, a little bit wider, but everything kind of blending into the space around it. Here we are back to blackness and negative space and leading lines, whereas here we have lots of space above, and there's weight from kind of the stormy clouds on the city, so there's texture everywhere, but that weight above kind of pushes you down into the city. And here we are back to one of my favorite recent examples from this portrait session that kind of made me want to talk about this is space. We had this great sunset on this amazing, huge old tree down by the river. And so it allows us to frame, right? We could have made a portrait more like this, right? Or more like this. And it's fine. There's still a sense of scale. It's not bad. And yet if you think about this, yes, it's harder. Yes, you have to control tone. Yes, I went into Photoshop and I used Pictorialist and I burned and dodged so that this stuff back here didn't become too distracting, so that our primary tree trunk dwarfing our subject while the subject was still absolutely dominant in the frame. But see what we're doing here. We're using space to give intensity to the photo. The space doesn't take away from the subject for an arbitrary reason. It makes you want to know more of the story. Every one of these elements in terms of how we use space, how we use shadow, how we use weight above, how we just leave the frame together instead of cropping it in, how shooting vertical gives weight, how letting things go dark around the edges and that space can also give drama and weight. It's all just space. Some of it's closer, some of it's farther, but when we actually use it, when we actually demand it of ourselves and start really thinking about space. Space is how we create weight and push that weight to one side or the other and it really changes the way people see. I mean, sure, changing the space can be just as simple as zooming out and changing the frame, which of course changes the composition. But as we've seen today, space isn't just about how long of a lens you use. You have this beautiful setting sun of a model leaning against a tree. Why do you need to cut into her face when you can show the space, when you can show the trees, when you can show the forest, the river, the majesty, the beauty? That changes everything in a photo. Space creates weight, creates emotion, creates drama, creates soul. They're all interconnected in our photos, and I think these are things we don't talk about enough. And I hope you found this useful. Hit that like, subscribe button. This isn't outer space. I don't mean like SpaceX, although space is cool too. That space is also cool. I think one of the most important things to remember about space is it's not always what we think it is. A lot of times space is about scale. It's about your subject, which you should have, and how it relates to the world around it. So sometimes it's a big space above, it's negative space, but sometimes it's things, plants, trees. Space could even be other things or people surrounding an object. It could be movement or blur. Space doesn't have to just be zooming in or zooming out or even walking forward or back. Space is the way we control what's inside the frame in a way that nothing else does. I'm Gavin Seim. If you guys want to talk more about space, let me know. I'm losing my light. We're gonna roll.